Hey guys, Mr. here again for another video today, and we are back with a new Can They Win the Stanley Cup? And as you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be seeing if the best players who have never been drafted by an NHL organization can I guess win the Stanley Cup. As you would know, now I don't remember what I named them. I think it's Buffalo. I think it was I think it was Boston Undrafted, I think is what I named them. So we will substitute out Boston for this one, I believe. Honestly, I do not remember, but I'm pretty sure it is the Boston one, right? Boston Undrafted, yes it is. All right, so we will toggle user control over toggle user control over them. We're in a very competitive Atlantic division. We do also get to go against the Tampa Bay Lightning probably a few times, and they are the highest rated team in the NHL now alongside of us. So let's just get right into this, I guess. We'll edit some of the rules really quickly, and then we'll see what everything is looking like, and we should be good. I'm excited to see how this team does. Honestly, this is a pretty solid team. I mean, maybe you could say this is a team that you could see in the NHL. Like, they have a really good goaltender. They have a few really good defensemen. They don't have the greatest forward core, I believe. I don't remember. I made this like a week ago. I made this one and another one about a week. Well, I made one about a week ago and then one a few days ago, like 2 days ago, I think. But yeah, I don't want to make too much of them too soon, because last time I did, once the new roster update came out and I switched roster variations or roster updates, every single team that I created got absolutely demolished, and they all got lost, so I couldn't do anything about it, which honestly really sucked, because to be fair, I did make a lot, I'm not gonna lie. So one thing about this team is that I know our goaltending is really good, and hopefully they will be able to carry us to an NHL Stanley Cup ring. So starting off with this team, we'll show you what the team looks like. On forwards first, we've got Artemi Panarin, who was an undrafted player. Tyler Johnson, obviously undrafted. Matt Zuccarello as well. Connor Sheary, Tyler Bozak, and Jonathan Marchessault on that second line. On the third line, we have Yanni Gourde with Alex Iafallo and Michael Raffl. I mean, not a bad third line. It's a pretty solid third line, if you'd ask me, to be honest. And then our fourth line of Chris Kunitz, Melker Karlsson, and Mark Letestu. Again, pretty solid. I think we'll have Letestu on the draw just since he actually has a chance at winning face-offs. Iafallo has really good face-offs as well. So does Bozak. And I think Johnson has decent face-offs, which he does. All right. Now, defensively, we have Mark Giordano, really good. Christopher Tanev, pretty solid. Torrey Krug, pretty solid. I almost said Nicholas. Nikita Zaitsev, not too bad. Brennan Dillon, not too bad. And Andre Suster as well, not too bad. And goaltending, we have Sergei Bobrovsky and Martin Jones, two crazy undrafted players. Now, I'm just going to show you guys, just in case you didn't know, that all of these players were undrafted. And I think I might have someone scratched, because I wanted to show you, yeah, because there's honestly some decent goalies who has been undrafted. I usually add some players into the team just so I can show you some players like this, like Talbot undrafted and Ranta also undrafted, which is kind of crazy. So you guys now know what the team looks like. Now let's go and see how everything works out. We'll see if we can win the Stanley Cup. Like I said, our offense isn't the greatest. Our defense is pretty damn solid, though, and our goaltending is really, really good as well. So we'll have to see. Now, the reason why I chose Boston, if you guys are wondering, so Boston fans, please don't get salty. Honestly, I literally just picked a random city that an NHL team has, because, like I said, I'm just gonna replace any team I want. Like, it really doesn't matter, even if it's a team I don't like. I did it with Toronto. Like, I have replaced Toronto, and I will be replacing Toronto again, I think. I don't remember, but yeah, like I said, I mean, we're gonna take out whatever team I'm feeling. Like eventually there will be a time where I take out Pittsburgh because one of the draft years was held in Pittsburgh. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah. So please don't get salty, Bruins fans, just because I took out your favorite team. More than likely, it'll happen to one of other person or someone else's favorite team. It happened to my team. I've replaced Toronto twice already, I'm pretty sure, and Toronto's my favorite team. So, just chill out about that in the comments. But not looking too bad. Looking at our record, we are 28-10-4, which is really good. We haven't been losing too much, which is obviously nice, and I like to see how good everybody else is doing in the league, but we'll check that at the end of the season, as we are now in the month of February, coming upon the trade deadline, and I think we could hit 40 wins before the deadline, depending on how we do. We have 38, and we have 5 chances to get the wins, 2-game losing streak, but we still have 2 more chances to at least get 1 win. Just gonna notify me that the trade block is the trade deadline is basically upon us. Come on, you can do it, game. Current record of 39-16-4. We have 2 chances to get our 40th win before the deadline, which is really good. Actually, while this is just taking forever, I might as well get out my notepad to find where I have all the statistics about the teams in the series. There it is. All right, so we've done 3 so far. This is our 4th, which is very interesting. That's for sure. So undrafted. I'm just going to title it undrafted. Obviously, I can't write down the record yet, and I can't write down whether they do or do not win the Stanley Cup, also where they finish in the regular season. But I mean, actually, I forgot to do that with the 2002 draft. I know they didn't make the playoffs, though. I can write that. I don't remember where they finished. I forgot to write that down. So, coming up to the end of the season, we hit 50 wins, and we will obviously be going to the playoffs. And in the first round, we will be facing who? Let's see. I'm going to stop the sim anyways, because I do want to see. We will be facing the Ottawa Senators in the first round of the playoffs. Very interesting. Let's see how this team finished. So we finished with a very good record of 51, 24, and 7. I'm just writing it down as we speak. So, you know what? Honestly, that's a really good, really good regular season. No growth from anybody. Actually, did Yanni Gourde grow? I thought Yanni Gourde might have been a 79, but he might have already been an 80. Honestly, couldn't tell you. Mark Giordano has dropped 3 overall, though. That's not good. Why has he dropped so much? He's probably our captain. Interesting, okay. And then goalies, let's see. How did Bob do? I mean, he was our starter. Let's see, he played 42 games. He was 42, 18, and 4 with a 932 save percentage and a 204 GAA. Jones as the backup, 9, 6, and 3 isn't too bad, but he had a 942 save percentage and a 1.7 GAA. So both of our goalies did extremely well. Let's go and check out the stats really quickly. So Toronto actually did not make the playoffs this year. Very interesting. Let's see, where did we finish throughout the entire league? We were the best team in the Eastern Conference, and we actually weren't the best team in the league. So, very interesting. We will write down, we will write down second, because honestly, I could have wrote down first, and I probably would have, but I really didn't think this team was going to be that good, and also, I didn't think with looking at a record at the end of the season, I was thinking we'd probably finish first, but we actually finished second behind St. Louis. So I didn't mean to go check the playoff stats. Let's go check out our player stats. So Artemi Panarin, our leading scorer this year with 66 points. Tyler Johnson and Matt Zuccarello with 59 each as well. That's a really good top line then. Jonathan Marchessault with 54 points. Torrey Krug with 50. Connor Sheary with 46. Bozak 44. Yanni Gourde 34. Giordano 32. Letestu 26. Iafallo, Carlson, Kunitz, Raffle, Zaitsev, Dylan, Tanev, Suster. You guys can see it all there. Chris Tanev was actually a plus 25. That was really good. And then goalies, obviously, we saw their stats already. They were both really good. We'll start with the goalies throughout the entire league. Best save percentage goes to Sergei Bobrovsky, and best GAA also goes to Sergei Bobrovsky. So, yep, Bobrovsky should be getting the Vezina, and Jones and Bobrovsky should be sharing the Jennings as well, because they both had the best stats in the league. All right, very, very interesting, that's for sure. And then let's go to forwards. Let's see who did the best in the league. Patrick Kane with 104 points. John Tavares with 94. Vladimir Tarasenko with 89. Evgeny Malkin, Nikita Kucherov, and Jordan Eberle with 85. Giroux with 84. Stamkos with 83. Kopitar, Crosby, and Saad with 82. And I believe those are all the point-per-game players. Schwartz was pretty close, 79 points for him. 56 goals is the most. They go to Kane. Most assists goes to Giroux. Now for defensemen, let's see. Most points goes to Ekman Larson, then Keith, and then Carlson. Ekman Larson at 76 points this year. Burns with a 30-goal season. Wow. Most assists probably goes to Ekman Larson. Nope, it goes to Keith. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, let's go and just get through the playoffs here. I don't remember how I did this when I made it with the Hut team. I think I might have just done it like this, and you know what? I'm going to. So, Game 1 in the playoffs, we won. Game 2, we lost. It is now a tied series at 1 apiece. We win Game 3. Game 4 goes to Ottawa, so we've just been going back and forth. Now a best-of-3 series. We win game number 5, and we also win game number 6. So we will be moving on to the second round to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. All right, and they took 7 games. We took 6 for the first round. Let's see. We lose game 1. All right, game number 2, we also lose as well. Game number 3, we lose. We're on the verge of getting swept. Game number 4, we lose. So we actually get swept in the second round by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Very interesting. Looking like our offense just wasn't there. With most goals we scored was 2, and that was in game 1. Then the next 3 games, we only had 1 goal. Vasilevsky must have played absolutely insane then. Actually, before I do check the stats, let's just simulate until the end of the season, or to see when, or whoever wins the Stanley Cup, because I want to check out the stats at the end of the season, just out of curiosity. So another failed attempt at winning the Stanley Cup. That's unfortunate. We now have 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 we have won Stanley Cups with. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have 3-peated now. What the fuck? Okay, sure. Now, okay, let's go and check out this the stats. So, yeah. Pittsburgh wins the Stanley Cup for the 3rd year in a row, and currently in real life they aren't even in a playoff spot, so you know. Marchessault did the best on our team with 9 points in 10 games, Panarin with 8 and 10, Johnson and Sheary with 7 and 10, Zuccarello with 6, and then after that, not too great from everyone. Goalies, let's see. Bobrovsky was the only one who played. 924 save percentage isn't the greatest, but a 2.12 GAA is pretty good. He just must not have gotten a lot of shots. And honestly, there was no offensive help from him throughout the second round. So, or for him, not from him. I meant for him. So Kane and oh my God, was that the Stanley Cup final? It must have been. It must have been Chicago versus Pittsburgh. That's something I want to see in real life. That would be awesome. But, yeah, Kane with 25, Crosby with 25, Saad with 23, Taves with 22, Malkin with 21, Kessel with 80. Just look at those top 6. Those are all studs. I mean, Saad not as much, but Kane, Crosby, Taves, Malkin, and Kessel, absolute studs. DeBrincat had 17 points in his rookie season as well in the playoffs. So, let's go and check out the playoff tree, just because I do want to see, was it Chicago versus Pittsburgh? It was. That is crazy. And after Tampa swept us, they got swept by the Pens. So the Pens were rested heading into the Stanley Cup final, although so was Chicago. Chicago had a pretty solid run. Both teams won in 7 games in the first round, And Chicago swept in the second round. Pittsburgh won in 5 in the second round. Then in the conference finals, Pittsburgh won in a sweep. Chicago won in 5, and then it took them 7 games to get over each other in the Stanley Cup final. Now looking at the awards, Stanley Cup champions are the Pittsburgh Penguins. President's Trophy winners were the St. Louis Blues. Clarence S. Campbell Bowl champions, so the best team in the Western Conference. In the playoffs, I guess whoever made it to the Stanley Cup final from the West was the Chicago Blackhawks. Then in the East, it was the Pittsburgh Penguins. Player rewards: Art Ross goes to Kane, Hart goes to Kane, Norris goes to Keith. Very interesting. Surprised it wasn't Ekman Larson. Lady Byng goes to Kane. Calder goes to Tarasenko. I have edited Tarasenko's stats. I hate that. I don't know why it does it, but okay. Murray with a Conn Smythe. Vezina goes to Bobrovsky, as it should have. And actually, the Jennings didn't go to Bobrovsky and Jones like it should have. I feel like it should have, at least, like it did with Gibson and Anderson back when they were playing in Anaheim in 2015, 2016. So that's weird. Bill Masterton, Boychuk, Frank J. Selke, Jordan Stahl, Ted Lindsay, Patrick Kane, and Maurice Richard. Patrick Kane. Kane took home some hardware this year. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five player trophies for him, and he also made it to the Stanley Cup final, coming 1 game short. So that will be it from me, guys, in this episode. Hopefully you all did enjoy. Let me know what you guys want to see next for this series, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.